Hey everybody, it's me, Andrew. I know you're all doing a great day. I can read it, I can feel it through the technological infrastructures in place, overlaid and superimposing my geometry, augmentated, even. It's already in place. The technological advancement is coming strong. But today is not all about technology and its advancement or the augmentations or any of that. Today's video is going to be all about the new age. So I welcome you to Great Days. Now, the new age is a global movement that is taking place and bringing about the transformation of the Earth's vibration and humanity's vibration. We are raising in consciousness. In other words, people all over the globe, the whole globe itself is waking up. And I chose this day to make this video because the moon is in Leo, the astrological sign, and Leo is all about self-expression. She's all about he is all about fire. He's all about pride. He is all about confidence. He is all about the sun. And when Leo is in the moon, it brings us a inner sense of this passionate exteriorization of our ego's self-expression. And I thought that with Leo, or with the moon in Leo, that it would be a perfect time to bring you inwardly to understand that you should put some value on the new age movements, because it's going to come big within the next 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 years. And by 2050, we are going to be attuned to advancement in areas of spirituality, and this is going to bring us to a whole new global state, which is literally going to be close to living amongst extraterrestrials, living within immortality, living within virtual realities. All of this stuff is going to become actuality, because it already is actuality. It's here. It's just on the ripples, the outer ripples of this big movement, which is being driven mostly by the new age. So the new age, like I said, is all about transformation in vibration. We're going through transformation globally to become higher in vibration, higher in consciousness, higher in awareness, higher in knowledges. And it's really it's taking place in a number of different practices, a number of different movements, a number of different lifestyles. It's taking place all over the globe, really. It's taking place in practices such as meditations, yoga. It's taking place in diet switches, plant-based, veganism, fruitarianism. All of this brings about a higher consciousness and higher vibration, and you are able to, with this higher consciousness, to tune into higher dimensional realities of the normal or the mundane reality that has been given to you most of your life nowadays. But through inward space or inner experience, there is vast amounts to be explored of the universe. And there isn't only outer space, there's also inner space, something that I haven't really discussed on this channel. There is outer space. Outer space is outer, outside of you, and inner space is within you. With outer comes inner. With good comes bad. With black comes white. This is duality. So If you have inner space, you have outer space. If you have outer space, you have inner space. This is a fact. This is coming straight from Taoism, a Eastern way of life. And a lot of the New Age energies or movements or waves come directly from the Eastern civilization and their systems of going through life, like Buddhism, all about enlightenment. Enlightenment is knowing how much you don't know, and this is paradoxical because it brings you to a state of opening your third eye, because when you open your third eye, it just brings in information continuously. And in order to truly understand that you need to bring in information continuously, you need to be enlightened. You need to understand that you truly know that you do not know anything, because sensory perception on the electromagnetic scale is literally, for us, attuning to 1%, or even less than 1% of the electromagnetic scale is visible to the human being. So that means out of the 100% of the electromagnetic scale, which is light, is only coming in less than 1% for us and our sensory perception. So that means we literally don't see anything. We see less than 1%, and you need to be in a state of enlightenment to know that you truly do not know anything. Okay? But we do have some knowledge, so we're going to share this knowledge. And like I said, the New Age is all about transformation in consciousness, a raise in awareness, a raise in vibration, and it's going to boom big throughout these next decades. It has been booming big. There's a whole age of awakening coming with the Age of Aquarius. Spiritual, technological advancement. I know the quantum realm or the quantum sciences have been advancing significantly, and this is making way for our traveling through the quantum realms. But even further than that, we are going to get to a state of spirituality, technological advancement, which is bringing in a whole region of science that is using spirituality as a center point, and this is going beyond the quantum realm even more so. So I have some little summaries of the New Age I'm gonna go over. Some themes of the New Age consist of the arrival of the New Age will initiate a heightened spiritual consciousness. Like I said, we are raising in consciousness literally as I'm talking. Okay, we are raising in consciousness right now. With the rise in consciousness comes a evolutionary path that is more divine, more godly. Like, we aren't the same as a four-legged being, a four-legged being, or a docile, whatever the word is. I think it's that word. It might be. We're not the same as a docile being or a four-legged creature. We are the same. We have some of these same anatomical structures, but we aren't the same in the way that if you look at a cat and if you look at a human being, we are vastly superior in consciousness and awareness. We are aware of a vast amount of the universe. The cats are as well, and at one point they were as evolved as us, but throughout the years they have been brought down in consciousness. They have been domesticated so they can become pets, and this is where the trouble really is. In ancient Egypt, the cats used to be as evolved as human beings now, because ancient Egypt was completely run by higher terrestrial beings, and they knew spiritual, technological experimentation, which they could make literally mutants out of any creature that was on Earth, and they made dogs that were upright. They made cats that were upright, that were godly, that were divine. They made a lot of different mutants and made them the gods of Egypt, and it all just comes from a higher civilization of aliens, really. So the arrival of the new age will initiate a heightened spiritual consciousness accompanied by social and personal transformation, demonstrated by the eradication of hunger, sickness, poverty, racism, sexism, and war. So, like I said, one of the first themes of the new age is going to be a literal evolution to humankind and the globe itself. War is going to be brought down, poverty is going to be brought down, sickness is going to be brought down, sexism, racism, hunger, all of this is going to be eradicated completely with all this rise in consciousness, with all this rise in awareness, with all this rise in energy and evolution. We are going to eradicate all these things off of the globe, and then individuals are going to start waking up more, so enlightenment will gradually blossom throughout the globe. Like Buddha, he was enlightened. Buddha means to know, or Buddha actually means someone who has awakened. The awakened one is what Buddha translates to. Bud means to grow, which awakening is part of our evolution. Awakening, to awaken, like a Buddha, is to grow. It's the natural flow. Okay. Individuals start waking up. Enlightenment will gradually blossom in the world. Spiritual transformation, like I said, it's going to get to the point where we're understanding higher dimensions of inner space, and we're able to use our brains as tools instead of our brains using our bodies. And this is what the inner kingdom is about, what the Bible speaks of. The inner kingdom is all about using your brain like a remote to go about different experiences. And the body is also a tool. The mind and body are just tools for experiencing life. And when we rise in consciousness, when we rise in energy, in awareness, we start waking up, we start awakening, we start growing, we start maturing as a species, and then we are starting to understand more of life and its higher dimensional, or its higher dimensions, and this makes way for more communication with extraterrestrials. More star seeds start waking up. A person who is born from another planet but is reincarnating here on Earth to make bridgings and mediate the evolution of another species' arrivals and work on the Earth. And yeah, there's a lot that comes with understanding the higher dimensions. Like I said, it's all about inner space, using inner space via your mind and body as tools to travel this inner space. You are basically a spaceship. This is what the Merkaba is all about. Your light body is all about geometrically traveling via inner space and coordinating through outer space, because they're one and the same. They're connected via the pineal gland, which is the gland in the center of the brain's anatomy, which is also called the seat of the soul, because it contains all the universal geometry within it, and it is known as the spiritual gland. It secretes DMT, dimethyltryptamine, which is used for tuning into other beings, because all beings have a sense of secreting DMT, and it also secretes serotonin and melatonins, I think, or serotonins and dopamines and all these different chemicals. So, yeah. Healing and growth all result from this spiritual transformation. Like I said, everybody on the globe individually is going to be healing and growing, collectively, individually, simultaneously. It's going to come in many different forms. Like I said, it's going to be coming in many different forms. The New Age grew in the 1970s and 80s. With it grew all over in the 1970s and 80s because it was making way for the Age of Aquarius, which is the age of information, which is where people start waking up because they start tuning into the information all around the universe, because Aquarius is known for harnessing its information from the ethereal throughout the universe. It's different from a Gemini and a Libra. Gemini and Libra pull information from a different realm of the ethereal. Aquarius is all about pulling information from the whole universe, which is why the Age of Aquarius is bringing the globe a age of awakening, the great age, or the new age, sorry. And this is why so many people are waking up to what is within the universe and the actualities and the true realities of what is out there, because the universe is truly thriving in life. As above, so below tells us this. As above, so below tells us that what is above us is also below. It's fractal. Or what is here on earth is out in the cosmos. It's literally fractal. This is a Egyptian wisdom. This is an Egyptian lesson. The New Age grew in the 1970s and 80s, like I said, through the teachings of David Sprungler and many, many others. Not just David Sprungler, but David Sprungler was one of them, and other metaphysical religions. But it has existed since the 2nd century CE, beginning with Gnosticism. So it boomed in the 1970s and 80s, but it originated a lot. Spiritualism carried on throughout the 2nd century CE with Gnosticism, which is a group all about spiritualism or rising in consciousness. Gnosis is a Greek noun which translates to knowing or knowledge, and this originated in the 2nd century BC. So the New Age goes as far back as the 2nd century BC and even further, because spiritualism is what really brings in that whole seed of the Age of Awakening or the New Age. And spiritualism has went far, far back, eons. It has always been part of life, because spiritualism is all about God, the spirit, the spiritual realms, which is that unknown, or which is that all consciousness. It's literally the pure primordial consciousness, the God body. And it's let me see, it's heavily related to, or not related, but even more interconnected with the Eastern civilizations and their way of life, because all of the Hindus, the Buddhas, the Taoists, and many more, all of these ways of life are all revolving around the center of spiritualism, which is to be in harmonization with the universe, which to bring out the spirit, the spiritual realms, to be anatomically and geometrically connected and harmonized with the universal geometry. This is what mysticism is all about, and yoga as well. And meditation even makes you more aware of this, because whenever you sit down and meditate, you start becoming inwardly aware, and you need inward space to be understood in order to outwardly project your intelligence, which can make way for understanding superior entities or lower entities which are existing literally everywhere if you just understand some of the higher dimensions of life. And yeah, the new age goes deeper. I'm going to make a lot of videos on it. It is centering around spirituality, like I said, a rise in consciousness with the Age of Aquarius, which is according to the precession of equinoxes, which is a phasing in the, or a seasonal period of the Earth's revolution. It's the precession of equinoxes has the Earth within the, I think it's the Durapana period, or the Durapana phase. It's right after the Kali Yuga phase. There's the Kali Yuga phase, there's the Durapana, there's the Treta phase, and then there's another phase. There's 4 phases of this precession of the equinoxes, and it's basically a certain groove that the Earth revolves to. And right now in the Durapana phase, the Earth is going straight towards the center of the Milky Way, and it's like a spaceship. The Earth is a spaceship. It's an self-automating spaceship, self-conscious. It's a complete being itself. We're living on the back of the Earth. Like, all the little mites living on my back are alive and going throughout their own little ecosystems, building up my back. It's the same thing with the Earth. As above, so below. And like I said, in the Durapana phase of the precession of the equinoxes, the Durapana Yuga is what they're called, 4 yugas. We are going straight into the center of the Milky Way, which is bringing in a whole lot of information and a whole lot of fluctuation in the Earth's energy. And this is, like I said, bringing us to a state of awakening, a state of hiring and awareness. It all fits astrologically. It all fits because everything is literally geometry. Geometry is perfect. Triangle. Geometry is perfect. And everything down to the last blade of grass, the last grain of sand, is literally perfectly synchronized to the entire universal body. And yeah, it's a lot of monoism, which is a understanding that we are energy and everything is interconnected with each other. Everything is one. That's monoism. And it's a lot of pantheism, which is to understand that everything is the divine, everything in existence is God, and to understand that everything is God, including you. Everything, literally down to the last blade of grass and the last grain of sand, is the divine. It's God. Everything is God. Everything is interconnected and everything is one. This is pantheism and this is monoism, and they are both center ways or lifestyles of the new age. So yeah, it's a global movement. Like I said, it's going to come big. Jump on it now. It's a lot of knowledge. It's a lot of awareness that is going to be generated to every individual who is understanding that they should be understanding even more than understanding twice, because I got to bring it around 3 times. But yeah, understand more, attune to knowledge, tune into the universe, have some great times. I love you. This was all about the new age, and I'm going to sign out. Subscribe, click upon this video, generate some static electricity like Nikola Tesla with your ethereal strengthening. Welcome to the new age. It's coming big. The world is waking up. We are transforming spiritually. I love you and have a great day.